1454 Board of Directors regular meeting to order. And with that, we'll have our pledge of allegiance. If you please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Roll call, please.
Chair Irwin.
Here.
Vice Chair Mounts.
Here.
Director Carhart.
Here.
Director O'Farrell.
Here.
Director Tamani. Here. All present.
Fantastic. Great. We're going to move to 4.1. We have a staff introduction for Arts and Entertainment Associate.
Yes, I will just introduce Cassie briefly, since Jen is not here to introduce her. You all at your last board meeting approved that position to be elevated to a full-time position, and so Jen had wanted Cassie to come and introduce herself to all of you so that you would be able to put a face to the name, and she is on Zoom tonight.
Cassie, you there? You can't see you.
Hello, sorry I wasn't able to turn on my camera, but hi. It says it's disabled. Just wanted to say hello to everyone. I've met most of you by now at this point, but
Can't hear you.
Technically,
Want to see you.
well, I think it's on our end.
Yeah, take care of.
In case we respond, we'll get technical difficulties.
We used to be really good at this back during COVID.
Out of practice.
Thank God.
I know 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's sort of all went down like, I don't think it's.
Right.
Yeah.
hi, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Perfect.
Can't see you.
Okay. It looks like I can't enable my camera on the video, but just wanted to say hello to everyone. I've met most of you at this point, but just reintroducing myself. I'm excited to be full-time officially and just keep growing the arts in Fair Oaks. We're plugging away at the Garden Gala now, so hopefully we'll see you all there on May 16th.
Awesome. Welcome.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Great. So we're going to move into audience public comment on a non-agenda item. So if anybody wants to speak on something that's not on the agenda, you'll have 3 minutes to do so. We have speaker slips. We'd love for you to fill one out. Come up to the podium in person. If not in person, if you put a little hand up or whatnot, we can also get you there. Is anybody in person wish to speak on a non-agendized item?
Is it? Yeah. Okay. Hello, Board of Directors. My name is Mary Stokely. I am a Recreation Supervisor with the district. Apologies for not getting on the agenda, but I will go ahead and have the pleasure of introducing the award recipients for the Rachel Ann Gray Memorial Scholarship this year. We have 2 incredibly deserving recipients. It is always such a cool full circle moment for us to be able to continue to award these scholarships after so many years. And as I say it every year, but as a past recipient myself, it's a very cool full circle moment. And it's always very awesome to get to see the future of our upcoming generations. They are all incredible kids, and this has been probably one of the most memorable years in terms of qualified applicants and just all of the accolades that they all had and brought forward in their interviews and applications. It was really incredible. Just a very brief background. Rachel Ann Gray was a beloved member of the community. She passed away in 2012. She was a part of lots of different community organizations as well as the Fair Oaks Youth Advisory Board. And her family has been very well connected to the community as well. This scholarship has made a huge impact for a lot of us over the past, that should say 12 years now. We have impacted 56 students over those 12 years and awarded nearly $45,000 in scholarships, which is absolutely incredible. And then that brings me to being able to present this year's scholarship recipients. And our recipient at the $1,000 level is Griffin Keel. Griffin, you can come on up. Griffin is a senior at Bella Vista High School. He is the captain of both the cross country and track team, as well as the president of the Spanish Honor Society. He stays involved in the community through participating in CSF, NHS, and Key Club. Outside of school academics, he's also an academic tutor for a local family, and he's discovered a great passion for helping younger students build confidence in their learning. Griffin plans to pursue a career in nursing and will be attending a four-year university this fall with interest in eventually working in oncology or emergency care. His passion for service, leadership, and supporting others has shaped his goals, and he's excited for the opportunities ahead. So congratulations, Griffin.
Go Bronco.
And our $1,500 award recipient is Nora Gutierrez. All right, and Nora is a high school student also at Bella Vista High School. During her time at BV, she's taken advanced coursework. She'll be receiving her seal of biliteracy in American Sign Language and has participated in her school's AVID program. Something that's very unique about her is that she loves horseback riding. It's been a passion of hers since freshman year that she plans on continuing for the rest of her life. She's also very interested in true crime. She loves listening to true crime podcasts, and that interest has developed into a future career. She plans on pursuing a major in biochemistry at the University of Nevada, Reno. Her goals are to be able to combine her love of horseback riding and true crime by joining the equestrian team at UNR, as well as becoming a forensic pathologist once she graduates. So congratulations to Nora.
Congratulations.
And just little plug, if anyone wants to continue to support the scholarship, the Lake Natoma Trail Run is going to be taking place on June 6th. That is Saturday. Registration is open for that. And then if I could just very briefly ask the award recipients to come on up to take a photo with the board, that would be lovely. And I forgot my phone, Joe.
You guys get a picture of it.
Yeah.
Well, there,
Sorry.
yeah, probably.
Yeah,
It's all
go
around,
around.
around at the front.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Congratulations. Good job.
Nice
seeing your D as well.
Who's your house? Love you too.
Right, and 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Another round of applause.
Doing good.
Wanted to add.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Hello, Tom.
So, for people that don't know, my name's Tom Gray. I was Rachel's dad. And first and foremost, to the board and to the staff of the Recreation, Park and Recreation, just thank you. Every year, it's an incredible thing to see her name, her legacy continue. And for us that have been around a while, we get a little jaded. There are some incredible young kids coming up. I mean, I can't wait. It just, I get excited when I get to sit in on the interviews and thank staff for that. And they're outstanding young people. And our future is bright. So to the parents that are here, these two are awesome. And there were more students that were just incredible and spoke with passion and so it's wonderful. And to see that continuing in Rachel's name, just thank you. And it helps the family and it helps the community. And the last thing is with the board's blessing, I'd like to work with staff and maybe a board member and set this up so it lives on in perpetuity. Meaning we'll find that magic number where we can award 1 or 2 scholarships every year off of what the interest is. and we'll raise that money and we'll put it away. So that it's not a worry from the general fund or anything, and it'll outlive all of us that, because there's only a few of us that remember Rachel now, that, actually met her, but I'd like for it to continue. So with your blessing, we'll do that. And I look forward to helping promote this year's race. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Is there anybody else on camera or in person that would like to speak on an non-agendized item? Okay, hearing none, we're going to move from non-agendized item, public comment to the consent calendar. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Wonderful. We'll move to 7.1 monthly Fair Oaks Youth Advisory Board report, please.
I don't see her.
I don't see her online.
She online.
Delay that.
Is she online then?
He's got to go to work.
It's not.
Okay. Great. Well, we're gonna move then from FOIAB report to discussion possible action regarding under fiscal year 25-26 budget for cost related to splash pad repair work at Gum Ranch Park.
Good evening, Board of Directors. I'm Sean Ventura, Parks and Facilities Manager. Coming to you today to request access to some of the funds from the Gum Ranch Landscape and Lighting Fund. That is an assessment district established to continue maintenance and provide further improvements to Gum Ranch Park. This is in response to damage to our splash pad, which began as a small little tear around one of the spray features, and over time with the water hitting it all the time and a lot of little kids out there finding it unresistible to pick at the edges of the damage, it is now expanded a little bit. I've been looking around for most of the winter trying to find a company to come in and do this for the district using these funds, but the folks, as I stated in my report, were just ridiculously high. We're talking 36K plus. That's not including everything that we would need for the project. I have identified another project working with other parks and facilities managers throughout California, our Capri insurance representative, and talking to just industry experts on that. I think I've identified a product that can get the job done, will still retain a safe surface for children to play on, and will last a lot longer than the product we have currently installed there, which was just installed at the construction of Gum Ranch Park. All told, the materials and the tools to perform the job, this isn't counting staff time, but we just do it on a regular day's work, would total $2,288.77, and we're requesting that we pull that from the Gum Ranch Landscape and Lighting.
Does anybody have any questions for Sean?
What was the date that it was installed?
I believe that was 2018, 2019.
Probably 2019 or 2020.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is there
I
like
live
a
in Gum Ranch.
standard warranty on that stuff, or is it just?
It's not 5 years.
Well, yeah, I just,
Really?
what is it? Is it like 2 years?
Typically we have a 1-year warranty on stuff like that. This company that did the pour, are even claiming at this point that they don't do it like this anymore, and they have to do it thicker. So we would probably have to tear out some of the concrete to actually pour new concrete at a deeper level to allow for a more thicker surface on that, which I don't want to get into the situation of having to do this again in 5 years.
Yeah, it didn't have much of a life, did it?
It gets a lot of use.
Yeah, that is
It's a popular splash. It's the only splash pad in Fair Oaks.
one of our most popular features, not counting this playground.
So the plan will be come back later on and do a better job, or are we just deferring to see what happens?
No, I like this one.
For this.
No, I don't mean this one. This is fine for a temporary solution, but
I think this is a long-term,
you think so?
realistic solution, yeah. It's the same sort of stuff they put around, like swimming pools and on boat launches and then beach accesses and the like. It looks to be a very durable product.
So what's to stop more failures of the material?
We're gonna remove all the current material.
Oh, we're gonna remove all of it.
Redo the whole thing
Oh,
with this
okay.
product.
Okay, that sounds good. In fact, that sounds very reasonable at that price.
Yeah, I like to sweat out my brow when I find stuff.
Thank you for taking the time to look for different options. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So my question is, I noticed there's 180,000 in the Gum Ranch funds. What's the plan for that? Do
Well,
we have new facilities planned, or is that just there for problems?
You know, it is, part of this capital replacement. So as we go forward with capital replacement, things like the splash pad, surface area and things like that. And then there is still a trail connectivity in that area that we're investigating. It requires a bridge over a creek area, and that type of work is really expensive, as well as requirements from the Corps of Engineers for water, as we cross water systems. So we're kind of holding back on expenditures because of some of those issues. We are spending money though there. Sean spent money in regards to security out there for, I don't know how many months we had that out there, but a number of months. And so the money's being spent, but we're also reserving funds for those capital replacements and long-term projects.
Is that bridge in the capital program, or is that just something we're thinking about?
Since it's so isolated to Gum Ranch, we believe it should be funded through the Gum Ranch Assessment District.
Last time I was out there, I noticed a lot of the DG paths got eroded away this.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's good use.
So also what we use the Gum Ranch Landscape and Lighting Fund for is to pay for irrigation,
Yeah.
lighting, irrigation and lighting repair. I'll budget for this next budget cycle to use some of those funds where I won't have to come back and request for allowance, and it'll just be part of the operational budget funded through the O&L.
Thank you.
Great. Anybody wish to make a comment on this?
Sean, I'm
No, I
Elizabeth, we
want-
met several months, sorry, can I say something?
Can you go to the podium and say anything, please?
We have a public comment from Zoom.
Thank you.
So I met Mike and I met Sean in the fall, sometime out at Gum Ranch. I live at Gum Ranch. Thank you. I read the report for tonight's agenda. Thank you for being so diligent in trying to find a lower cost solution. And it's just a popular park, and that splash pad is jammed all summer long. So from the time it opens to the time it closes, lots of kids are out there. So thank you.
Great.
What was your name?
Elizabeth Williams.
Thank you so much. And then there was a public comment online.
Yeah, Tanya Gire said the pickleball door is now broke and has been reported.
That was
Sorry, was that?
unrelated to the splash pad.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about public comment on the item we're speaking of.
Okay.
Thank you. Excellent. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further comments? All those in favor? Aye. Wonderful. Then we will move on to 7.3. Discussion of possible action regarding adoption of 3 resolutions directing preparation of the engineer's report, Fair Oaks Maintenance and Recreation Improvement District, Phoenixville Landscape and Lighting Assessment District, and the Gum Ranch Landscape and Lighting Assessment District.
Yeah, so speaking of assessment districts, this is our annual first step of our process that we use to determine the amount we're going to be assessing each of these special assessment districts. And the current assessments are for Fair Oaks Parks Maintenance and Recreation Improvement District is $46.64 per single family unit. Phoenix Field is $154.58 per single family equivalent benefit unit. And Gum Ranch is $257.62 for Zone A and $432.52 for Zone B, which was the one that was approved back in 2021, I believe, for the undeveloped area back there. And by approving these 3 resolutions, you will be allowing the engineers to start their work on preparing the reports, which you will then get in June.
Any questions from the directors on this? And
My only question is, has the Gum Ranch been completely built out now, or are we getting a sizable chunk from the
It is
development?
completely built out.
So is, trying to remember their name, the developer, still paying a big chunk this last year, do we know?
Who's this?
Elliot.
Oh, yeah, Elliott Homes?
Yeah, Elliott Homes.
They're not even involved at all in this.
They're not anymore.
Yeah, the final homes are finishing construction and would be closing escrow within a couple of months. I live in the community.
Very good.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't follow too much.
Great. Is there any public comment on this item? Ms. Williams, yes.
Hi, it's Elizabeth again, Elizabeth Williams. So my neighbor Tanya Geyer is the one in the Zoom meeting. So Tanya and I actually read the report from the consultant a year ago. And one of the assumptions, if I read it right, if I understood it right, so this is, input going into the consultant's report that they're going to prepare and present to you guys in June, I think is when they present it. So the 4664 and all that, well, that's already on the property tax bill. So that was, that's old news really, because that was already assessed last year. But for this upcoming year, there was an assumption in the report about, so Gum Ranch Park and Madison Place Park are fairly close to each other. And Madison, I think the same assumption was used for both parks to say that both parks are neighborhood parks and therefore don't get a lot of usage from outside the direct neighborhood that gets assessed for those parks. For Madison Place, sure, that's a safe assumption because it's mostly grass. There's a small play area. I think there's 3 picnic tables and 3 benches or something like that. But for Gum Ranch Park, and thank you, Mike, for having your eye on the reserves, because I swear Gum Ranch is going to be expensive in the years to come. This past winter, I think it flooded twice, which is like, well, but that's designed to flood because there's a creek that goes, so, no worries, no panic, it's designed that way. And so thank you for an eye on the reserves, because there will be a lot of expensive work in the future about that. But the assumption that the consultants used in the report for both Gum Ranch and for Madison Place said that because, if I read this right, because they're neighborhood parks, there's 5% of the budget for the overall Fair Oaks Park and Rec that gets dedicated to each of those, each Gum Ranch and Madison Place. Well, Gum Ranch is a friggin' busy park all summer long. And, the splash pad has to be replaced, the whatever that covering is. The safety. The surfacing has to be replaced. And so that 5% assumption is based on the fact that it's a neighborhood park, means only 5% of the overall budget gets applied there. So because it's funded by Melrose taxes, it's really easy to just let those increase to the CPI, the Bay Area CPI that's noted in the documents, maximum up to 3%. And I think that 5% assumption is probably too low. Because if you look at summertime, usage like all year long, not just the summertime, it's really mostly used, I'm going to say, from people outside of the community, not in the Gum Ranch neighborhood. And the splash pad, for example, so popular, there's probably 30 or 40% of the homeowners in Gum Ranch have their own backyard pools. The lots are, sizable enough that they can have a backyard pool. So the splash pad, for example, I don't think it's being used a lot by residents within the Gum Ranch community, who are the ones paying the Melrose assessments on that. So this is just input for the consultants to review that 5% assumption because it seems too low.
Thank you.
All right, so any questions on that?
No.
Tanya, did you have anything to add? You're on mute, Tanya. I guess she has anything to add.
Okay, anybody else wish to speak on this?
I have a question. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I have a
public-
question for staff, though, on this.
Great, let me just see, is there anybody else from the public that wishes to speak on this item? No, okay, yes, Director Carr, please.
Yeah, I've noticed the same thing. There's a lot of use of some of the facilities at Gum Ranch Park by people from general community, and I go out there and, ask people if they live there, or where they come from. And I too live north of there, and I come over, walk the dog, and get the benefits of that park. So the question I have for staff, the assessment money that we put aside from the property owners, that the improvements there and the new facilities we put in there are not limited to that amount. We use and should be using some of our general money to, if not supplement,
Yeah.
maybe, I've wanted to talk to the residents about what they would like to see in terms of enhancements of the park that would benefit them. And so I just want to throw that out there. I think we ought to be looking at spending some of the general money to improve the things for the neighborhood.
Can I come back?
In compensation
Not
for the
yet.
general use of the facilities they're paying for.
And the definition of a neighborhood park, just, that is one of the things that the engineer utilizes. And this park, by their neighborhood parks are typically under 5 acres, no parking, walking distance to the neighborhood. It doesn't mean exclusive use by the neighborhood. It just means that its primarily purpose is for that. Gum Ranch is a unique beast because it's such a cool park. A lot of neighborhood parks, for an example, Madison Place, are not that attractive. And so this is a unique beast that is a very interesting and fun park to be in. So, yes, it's gets a lot of use from outside the neighborhood. But it only has one pickleball court, and that is specifically for neighborhood use. That's why there's only one instead of 6.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
there couldn't have been 6 there anyway. There's no,
But anybody can use that.
anybody can use it, yes, correct. And that's like any neighborhood park, or pocket park or anything like that. So, it is open to the general community, of course, but you happen to have a really cool park.
You did.
Well, luckily, when we receive the engineer's report, we can definitely scrutinize
Yeah,
and
we-
ask questions,
Yes, at
discuss
that point,
with the
yeah.
engineers. So right now, what we're going to be doing is taking a vote for them to be allowed to do that. And then once they do that, then we can dive into it, ask questions, potentially modify. And again, that's when we'll
Okay.
vote on numbers. And then
Yes.
please feel free to review that when it comes to the board, and feel free to bring your comment to that.
So you guys get the report, I think, in June, don't you?
I believe so, yeah.
Would you get a draft before June,
We get a draft in June.
in June?
Yes.
So what, because I went back a year ago to try to understand the timing, so that's why you're the March meetings when you vote to say, yes, consultants, you can, please go do the report. There's not much time between, should I be up there? There's not much time then for any action to be taken, like if you guys see the report in June. And then, because I think the assessments have to get into the county like after your board meeting in July, which doesn't allow much turnaround time. That's why I came here today to say, hey, let the consultants know that the 5% seems too low.
And I think we can perhaps just bring that up to have them just address that 5%.
We can.
We can.
Yes.
I also want to say that there's 2 different mechanisms that we're talking about. So the consultant determines the assessment amount, but the district determines how much of their budget they're actually going to spend in the park.
Right, but the consultants base assumptions in their own report, I think, was not
Okay.
accurate. So that had nothing to do with the district. That had to do with consultants' recommendation because, and they haven't been out to parks at all.
I think they just, they probably
Yeah, so
just.
how can they know? How can they know that it's really busy and that Ralph lives in the neighborhood behind and he comes over and?
Yeah, I don't think they addressed that. If I recall, this is done to ensure that all the money that comes from your assessment district is spent in your district and not some other things. That's one of the primary objectives of this report or this study. Make sure that we're not siphoning your money off to do things.
Well, the way that money could get sort of siphoned off is by that increase in the assessment each year. So that is allowed, there's 2 assessments that are allowed to go up to 3%.
But it still goes back into your
It goes into.
parks and facilities there.
But
Yes.
if the allocation from the general fund is too low, because the consultant's assumption wasn't accurate, because the consultant said, oh, it's a neighborhood park, nobody from outside of the neighborhood is using it, so.
I just want
therefore-
to clarify that though, no one is saying nobody from outside that community is using a park. That is an incorrect assumption to say that they are saying 0 people are using. Is that-
Right, it's not 0, it's not 0.
I'm gonna end this cross communication and we're gonna move to a vote, or we haven't voted,
Yeah.
right? We're still waiting on that. So do I have a motion to approve the 3 resolutions? I'll move. Okay, moved.
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor? Great. Moving to 7.4, receive and file the mid-year budget report. Already got.
a presentation. It's on the screen. Yes. All right, so this is our. Here we go. Our review of the mid-year budget. We met with the Finance and Budget Committee last week to review with them. And we will just do a brief overview of kind of where we are. So this year you adopted a $4.4 million budget with both expenditures for salaries and benefits and services and supplies. Our expenditures through period 7, which was the end of January, were at $2.3.5 million. That's about 53% expended for the year. The amount of the amount of the year that we have been through is 58%. So we're still below that. Glitching a bit. And then the revenue that we've collected through period 7 is 1.9 million, which is about 47% collected. So if you look back, I put the prior fiscal year's comparison, so you can kind of see where we've been in prior fiscal years. We are within the range of normal. Our revenues always seem to be lower at this time of year than I would like them to be, but they do. Our busiest months are typically spring and early summer, so those revenues will come up. We did receive additional property tax funds, which we had talked about in the Budget and Finance Committee meeting, and I believe was in a report of about $155,000 more. So that did bring us up to our normal property tax collections, which was a big relief. So our expenses for salaries and benefits, we budgeted 2.9 million. We have spent 1.7. We are at 59% expended for the year. That is higher than normal for this time of year. Not too terrible if you look back at previous years, but we also in previous years have been budgeting for positions that we anticipated hiring for because we were waiting for the project to be completed and that hadn't happened. And this year it has happened, so we are fully staffed. So we are running right up to the budget on our salaries, benefits. Some of that expense is due to additional part-time staff that we've had to hire for concessions, which we did not budget for. When we put the budget together, we had anticipated having a concessionaire in place relatively quickly, and we still do not have one, so we are still running that staff. There is some revenue that does come in to offset some of those costs, but it doesn't completely cover the cost. We are anticipating a little bit of savings in our full-time dollars because we've had some staff turnover. We will have a termination payout at the end of the year for our district administrator. I'm not sure exactly how much that's going to be, but we did not budget for it, and that will probably be something we'll have to come back to you and request a one-time increase in funds for that. Do you guys have any questions on salaries and benefits?
Question, this is the first 8 months of the fiscal year, right? So it's
7, yeah.
7,
Yeah.
it's only 7.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not, there's something like 60% into the budget here.
Correct.
Okay.
58%.
Yes, 58%.
Is there a reason that we didn't budget in that payout?
I did not know we put the budget together when Mike was leaving, so I did not.
Yeah, it was unknown at that point still because we hadn't finished the project. It was all predicated on the project. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right, I can't see very well from here, so turn around, sorry. So our services and supplies, that's our operational costs. We had budgeted almost 2.3 million. We spent about almost 1.2, 51% expended. We're doing fine. I think we'll have some savings, some significant savings in our arts and entertainment budget for a couple of shows that Jen had budgeted for, but are most likely not going to happen. For about $165,000, so that will offset some of the revenues, which we'll talk about next. We're getting some reimbursements from the foundation for some of the grand opening costs and the garden gala costs. Sean has identified some savings, $22,000 to $25,000 in savings from his budget, and then our recreation staff anticipate about $5,000 in savings. We did have some unbudgeted expenditures. Our legal services is a lot right now. We're about $20,000 over budget. That is not yet completed, so we anticipate that might be a little bit higher. And then our electricity costs for the new facility exceeded our budget, will exceed our budget by about 30%, $30,000. before the end of the year. Some of that is because of the additional use, some of it is because of the charging stations, and Sean did a lot of detailed analysis on it. So we're pretty confident that we are able to absorb that into the operational budget. We do have some revenue that comes in to offset the cost of the charging stations. So should be fine, but for next year, we'll definitely be increasing the budget. Guys have any questions on expenditures? Okay,
We always have the contingency fund there. It used to be 100,000, but now it's 50.
it's
and
at
there's
50.
Some,
Yeah, it's 50.
but that's always there for unexpected surprises.
Yes, so that may be where we're gonna request additional funds for the legal services, but we may be able to absorb it into the original budget without having to do that. So our special assessments, that's what we just talked about. We budgeted 955,000. We've collected 546. That's about 57% collected. That's in line with where we normally are this time of year. Our property tax revenue, we budgeted 2.3 million. We've collected just about 1.4. That's at 55%. Again, that's right around where we typically find ourselves this time of year. Our revenue from various things, our interest income, facility rentals, our cell tower leases, we budgeted 269,000. We have collected about 56% of that. We anticipate that will be at or exceeding budget by the end of the year. And then our program revenue, rec revenue, and our arts and entertainment revenue, we budgeted a lot, 1.2 million. We've collected about 31% of that. A big chunk of that was the Broadway show that Jen had anticipated that we're not going to be having. So that's offset by the savings and expenditures. And it looks like our rec staff is going to meet their budgeted amounts. And A&E will get to, I would say, probably, I think, 60% of what they budgeted. So they're doing well in terms of their capacity. When Jen put her budget together, she budgeted for, I think, 40% capacity rate, and we're running about 57. So she's doing well. We've had, I think, only one canceled show, and now that we're moving out of the black box into the amphitheater, you're going to see those revenues increase significantly. Any questions on any of the revenue? No? Okay. Well, this was just an update. There's no action needed for this.
Anybody from the committee want to speak on the report at all?
Darren and I looked at it, and we asked some questions at the time, but everything was answered.
Questions on that one, that miscellaneous.
Well, I did want to address that. So yes, we did look into that. Okay. It's an accounting thing so I just took that entire amount out of the revenue. That there was like 200 something thousand. We're just because it was from the previous year. It's an accounting, something to do with the bond fund and reimbursing us for it. So that's not revenue. Okay. So I took that out. So those numbers don't include that.
Great.
Okay. Perfect.
Thank you.
We're good.
Then we'll move to 7.5, discussion possible action regarding appointment. Initial member to the Fair Recreation Arts Foundation Board of Directors.
Thank you. And I spoke with Chair Irwin in regards to the process for this, so it's going to change slightly from my staff report, just so you're aware of that as we go forward. As you know, we have redone the bylaws and changed the name for the foundation. This is because of the recommendations from the auditor that our foundation board not be the board of directors. And so that's what we're moving toward primarily. We did put in a bylaw change with the Secretary of State to change the name and the makeup of the board. First of all, the foundation board will now be Fair Oaks Recreation and Arts Foundation. It will be an independent board from this board. There'll be 2 members from your board on the foundation board. The foundation board can have more members than that. I don't have the numbers here in front of me, but somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 to 9. And so what we're trying to do tonight is to establish the new board for the foundation. You've already appointed your 2 board members, which would be Director Irwin and Director Carhart on the foundation board. And then you as a foundation board tonight would appoint, hopefully, two candidates and three, but I don't see the third one here, so that may happen later. Something may have happened. I was in communications with her, but she isn't here tonight. And so you won't be able to appoint her, but there are two members or candidates here. And if you appoint those two, then you will also allow the other three board members, Director Mouse, Director Carhart, or O'Farrell, and Kamani, they will be off the board. You'll accept their resignation. And then the foundation board then will be independent of our board. There'll be four members potentially after tonight. And then when that happens, you will then seat as a foundation board tonight. And that those four members, if there is four, will then determine the next meeting for the foundation and vote upon that and the location of that meeting. And at that meeting, then they will then potentially appoint another member, the one that's not here tonight. I'll find out what happened. And then also appoint their president, vice president, and the officers of the board and their ongoing schedule for the meeting, for their ongoing meetings. Your CEO for the foundation will be myself. And I will ask that foundation board then to allow me to appoint Jen Schuler, our entertainment manager, as the CEO for the board. The foundation board bylaws allow for that. So that's kind of the process at this point. So your board action will be to, right now, will be to adjourn your meeting, your board meeting. No, because we're gonna do a little different. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. To adjourn your meeting, go into a foundation meeting, and then consider the two candidates and appoint them if you agree to that, and then to resign the other three members, and then go
Yeah,
on. from
and
there.
I think it's important to note, so the foundation board has to have a quorum is three, correct?
Three is
We
a
are
quorum.
all currently on the foundation board. I do believe Director Carr, you wanted to stay on the board, wasn't that correct?
Yeah, you
I
both,
believe
you,
both
yeah,
of
both
us
of you
did,
two
yeah,
had.
okay, because
you
I think
four
you
had voted.
accidentally said that he was gonna go on, so I just
No,
wanted
I'm sorry,
to
no.
make sure.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no, I would like.
Yeah, you are,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when we adjourn our board meeting and go into the foundation, it's the old foundation.
Yes,
And then
And then
the,
we will accept resignations and then we will go.
we
in.
will appoint and then accept resignation.
exactly, exactly. And that way you keep a quorum alive.
Okay,
So it's pretty critical to keep the quorum.
yeah,
So
Okay, well then, I will make a motion to adjourn the Parks and Rec District Board of Directors meeting and go into and convene the Fair Oaks Recreation Foundation. Or I guess we don't need to adjourn?
yes, you do.
I thought we did, okay, it says without adjourn.
I know, but.
Convene without
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. Jen.
Convene without adjourning.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
So you're gonna go into the foundation.
so we are now
Thank you.
going into the foundation meeting without adjourning.
Yes.
And now our foundation's business, 8.211, appointing new foundation board member or members. We currently have three potential candidates.
You have two, I guess. Here.
Well, they don't technically, hypothetically have to be here to approve them, do they? Because
I would, I guess technically no, but there may be a reason why she's not here. I want to find that out.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then we have two people here that we are going to look at, and who?
That would be Cassie and Michael.
Cassie and Michael. Okay, great.
Hello.
Well, I would love to hear from both of you one at a time, if you can, on the dais, and just say a little bit about yourself and why you want to be on the board.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Cassie Kendall, and I met Mike actually through the Fair Oaks Chamber of Commerce. I recently joined their board back in January. A little bit about me. I work for a public affairs firm downtown, Lighthouse Public Affairs. I work on their public relations team. So I oversee a variety of clients in hospitality, tourism, policy, state stuff. And this was the year I decided I was volunteering and giving back. So I started with joining the MOSAC board, that's the Museum of Science and Curiosity, put on by SMUD. Following that, I then joined the Summer Solstice Committee for the American River Parkway Foundation. I'm from Fair Oaks. I was formerly Miss Fair Oaks. I was actually a recipient of the scholarship mentioned earlier in 2018. And so it made sense for me to come home to my roots. So that's how I made it over to the chamber. And then Mike dragged me over here, and here I am. And I'm a huge lover of the arts. I was a theater kid growing up, still very passionate about it right now. I'm actually working with the California County Superintendent's Office for fighting for arts initiatives. So I'm really just excited to be here and be a young person and promoting more youth in the community and volunteer my time. So thank you for the consideration, and I look forward to either serving along you as a board or as a fellow community member. So
Yeah, and it was
That's like a,
Kathy,
Does
yeah.
anybody have any questions?
sounds like
She's
a
a great
perfect fit.
Do you live in Fair Oaks right now?
I technically live in College Oak, on College Oak Avenue, so I'm a friend of the chamber, but I grew up right behind Bella Vista. I'm a former Bronco. My parents still live there, so I mean, I'm over here 5 days a week.
And we don't have in our.
There's no
bylaws-
residence
Okay,
requirement.
just wanted to make sure. Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Michael?
Like, how many people did we have apply?
There was no application process yet. I had recruited 3 people.
Oh, so you recruited all of
Yes.
these people yourself?
Yes.
You won't hold that against me.
Yeah.
All different. So yeah, my name is Michael Cole. I am not technically from here. My wife's family is from here. We moved here. My wife and I met, and we moved together to Washington. We kind of lived there for like 5 years. It was longer than we intended, but when we got pregnant, when we had our first child, we wanted to be closer to her family. So we moved here. She grew up here, and her mom's from here, and her parents are from here. And so, that's her mom's. So anyways, when I first came here, one of the things that struck me was that I didn't see a lot of art in the city, around. And I saw Hugh Gorman's mural out in the park, and I some other things, but I always was like, where I came from, I was very involved in the arts, and I thought, man, I want to be a part of the Fair Oaks Arts Council, and I just thought there was already one, but so I remember driving down the road and saying, I want to be a part of the Fair Oaks Arts Council and like influence more art in the community. And I went to when my children were born, I started my education again, and I went back to Sac State. I got a BA in arts. And when I got out, I was really like intending to do, was going to be a creative director, and I was kind of on that track. But while I was there, I got the highest scholarship from the art department offers, and I interned at Cap Radio as a design intern, and I had like all these offers for all these jobs. And as I got to my very end of my education, I realized I wasn't really where I wanted to be. So I sort of shifted my focus back towards in a more local capacity, and started focusing my creative services here in Orangevale and Fair Oaks, and that's where I met Mike at the chamber meeting. I joined the chamber for my business, and basically told him about that I really have been trying to get in with the arts here, and I was basically like, I'm gonna haunt you if you don't let me be a part of this. And he's just like, keep that attitude, keep coming. And so he invited me to be a part of the Garden Gala committee, and I worked really hard to uplift that and like get that going. Cassie and I don't know if she's still here, but we worked together on that. And so I worked really hard in that. And then in the meantime, I started Orangevale Fair Oaks Arts. It's a nonprofit organization that supports local artists and encourages creativity in the community. A lot of what I want to do is unify people through art, and not just Orangevale Fair Oaks, but I'd like to keep, sort of join hands with the communities around us, like Citrus Heights and Carmichael and Gold River, and these other communities we're all connected by this river, and our borders touch, but we're a unified community, and instead of working as one, we can work as a collective where we fill in the blanks for each other. And so that's what I'm working on with what I'm doing, and we'll bring that same energy to this.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Is there questions? Sorry. I walk away for you.
No, great, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Michael.
Okay, how do we get these two on board?
I think
So you as a foundation will we'll
Yeah.
vote to accept them as foundation members.
I would make a motion to accept both of them on our new foundation.
Yes, to accept Cassie Kendall
Yes, sir.
and Michael Cole. Motion
I'll second.
moved in second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Now you're able to resign.
Yes, now you can. Now you can.
You'll have to accept the resignation. And these two, I would request of the three that are gonna be resigning, for the moment, while they do their action, sit in the audience if you would be so inclined. But first you have to,
To officially.
you have to ask for your resignation,
Offer it.
offer your resignation, yes.
I will offer my resignation to the.
I will offer my resignation.
And
Offer.
Thank you, Director.
then you all need to vote on accepting the resignation, which would be you two and
So,
Ralph.
Bring your chair and come on up.
Yeah,
yeah,
so you have to accept their resignation.
here, you want to just,
I'll make the.
And then once that happens, then you can run it on the dice.
It's nice knowing you.
Yeah.
It's choppy, I know, but it'll all work later. Yeah.
okay, so, all those in favor of accepting, resignations? Aye. Opposed? No,
If you need-
okay.
if you need a
Aye, thank
motion.
you.
Nope.
Wasn't a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept the resignation of the three former members.
I'll second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Now I would ask the three just to step aside.
So you guys are gonna leave for a second, we're going to
Yeah,
create.
it's good, there's an action the board has
For
to
the
make.
foundation. I will adjourn this foundation, you're all gonna come up, I'm sorry.
You're still in foundation.
You're
meeting.
still.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still in foundation.
Do they have to leave or can they be in the audience?
They can be in the audience, yeah, they'll be in the audience.
It's gonna be.
It's just official stuff.
Okay.
It's just a minute. So now that we've appointed our new board members, welcome board. So the only thing we are going to vote on or approve will be the foundation's next board meeting,
Yes.
next meeting, foundation meeting rather. And we have the purview to decide when that is. I'm open to recommendations on when the board or when the foundation would like to meet. I'm of a thought that it should be the same day, perhaps. I don't know how long the meetings potentially be, but perhaps before our board meeting, I thought could be good.
Yeah, it's all up to you. I have to do whatever you do.
So I'm thinking we meet at either 4:30 or 5, depending on the length of the meeting,
Would something like
on
that work?
basically the third Wednesday of the month.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Are you guys always in person?
Yeah, I think we do for the
You
foundation.
do not have to, you still have to follow the Brown Act, so there are some requirements, and we can go over those requirements for the Brown Act for meeting virtually, but yes. There are some requirements.
I'll almost always be in person, just because I'm only
Yeah.
a few minutes up the road,
Great.
so. yeah.
Great.
That's the best.
Okay,
And then you would on this motion, the time and the location and date.
Okay, so for the, let's see then, the next
15th.
April 15th.
So you think,
Yeah, April 15th.
hour and a half is adequate?
I
We
mean,
could
I
I
would
would
think it's gonna
think
be
so.
less. I mean,
You'll find out in time how this all.
Yeah,
works.
so I think 4:30 is probably
Yeah,
the wise
that's fine.
thing.
And that can be altered.
We can also.
You can change that, yeah.
And does it have to be posted as well?
We do have to follow the Brown Act, yeah.
And that's part of it.
And that's where you'll get your CEO, which will be me or
Yes.
Jen to make sure that happens.
So you guys-
The whole board meet monthly, because it wasn't that frequent, right?
No, you did not. You did not have a pre-scheduled meeting. You had a meeting as needed.
But now,
And you had annual meetings that you
So
had.
this is gonna be monthly?
It really depends on the board.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say. you
Again,
can
it's
make that-
variable.
So we
We
can-
can start out frequently until we get
Or
going.
whatever.
Yeah.
You'll all decide that at your meeting. you know.
great. So then we said the 14th? 15th, thank you.
At 4:30?
4:30. So I will make a motion that the next Fair Oaks, what is the name of the new foundation? It's not-
Recreation and Arts.
Recreation, the Fair Oaks Recreation Art Foundation meeting will be April 15th at 4:30 PM.
Okay. And that's in Village Hall.
In Village Hall. And we need a motion, right? So that was my motion. Do I have a second?
Would you like the second part?
I was second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great,
Very
wonderful.
good. Now, you will
Now-
still serve, your CEO and eventually Jen will serve as our staff.
I'll ask for that.
He'll ask,
Yeah.
will appoint.
Probably a point. yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, potential.
Great. And so now we are going to reconvene.
Or you're just gonna, yeah, you're gonna adjourn your meeting.
Motion to
Okay.
adjourn,
I'll make the motion to adjourn
Can I ask a
the
question?
Fair Oaks Recreation, the Fair Oaks Recreation and Art Foundation meeting to April 15th at 4:30. Do I have a second?
I'm second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor? Aye. Great. For that, it is
Thank you.
1 hour. It should be 4. It may even be less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love to meet you.
Choppy is all get out.
No, before. Because
Thank you, Michael.
Do you need us here?
No, you're welcome to stay, but if I were you, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would, yeah, do that, yeah. Tell him I wish I could do that.
So basically,
That's what I.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the big one.
I figured, I
Where
figured
did you want to be?
Yeah.
I did, yeah, 20, I graduated 20. Yeah.
Thank you.
Get out of your
Thank-
meeting.
Thank you, Cassie.
Thank
Welcome
you,
back,
bye.
team. I'm big. Okay, right. Yeah.
No, you're welcome to stay, but I wouldn't.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Are you lunching tomorrow?
So we've done that, and now we're moving to board and staff reports. Items from board directors, Director Carhart, anything from you? Oh, happy birthday to you. It's his birthday.
I'm glad I made it. It's the 76.
I just noticed like on the board earlier, did we change the name from Black Miners Bar, the trail run?
They did.
And why?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not sure. Nick isn't here,
Nick's not here, so I don't know.
but
interesting.
I think. it
Really,
might have
that's the only thing that sort of caught.
Draw more, maybe
Yeah.
draw more people.
I think so.
Yeah. That's me.
Nothing.
Very
we
nice.
can do.
Nothing from me. So, staff? Jen?
I do just want to clarify, we were trying to set up a meeting for the, all of you
Yeah.
to interview the final candidates. We had talked about Monday or Tuesday. You both said you were available both days. Do you have a preference for those, either of those?
So Monday or Tuesday is at 13-14?
Yes.
Okay.
13th and 14th of April.
April.
So the day before.
Yes, it's gonna be a fun week for you guys.
This is just for you and the girl.
No, that's the board.
This is all of
This
it.
is
So
all
you and I,
Well,
7th.
That is the panel interview.
and that's you and I.
That's just me, okay.
Right.
Yeah, and then we
With
have
the-
the
with the-
full
with the
board
management.
special meeting.
Correct.
Huh?
With the management team.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is either April 13th or 14th.
Yes.
Yeah, I would prefer the 14th as well. Great,
And
and we
that's
send
for the-
calendar invites, please, for
I will,
those.
absolutely.
Thank you.
That's for the full board.
Full board special
The
meeting,
14th, what time?
6 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thanks for that, Jen. I know that was a lot of coordination. Oh. Sean?
I wasn't gonna have an update tonight, but I did just want to touch on that pickleball gate is, tonight. Apologies. Sean Ventura, Parks and Facilities Manager. Wasn't gonna have an update tonight. I did want to touch on the gate that was mentioned by one of our Gum Ranch neighbors. That had a weld snap off. We have removed the gate from the fence currently and are awaiting some custom hinges for it to get it back out.
Awesome.
It's in process.
Great, thanks, Sean. As usual. Awesome, Mike?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I'm gonna give you recreations because I gave Nick the evening off. He wanted to do something fun.
This is fun.
This isn't.
Recreation update, the 2026 Food Truck Mania kicks off April 2nd. That will be at Fair Oaks Park. And this kickoff will include a women's in business pop-up event. So
Cool.
really kind of an exciting event. I've been to it. It is fun to go to. If you get a chance, please do. the ongoing one, this is ongoing, the Food Truck Mania, is the first Thursday of the month, April, which is April 2nd, through October. And it's 5 to 8 o'clock at Fair Oaks Park. And it's kind of a neat place to go have dinner if you are so inclined. Then on April 4th, we have the Fair Oaks Egg Extravaganza from 9 a.m. to 12 at Fair Oaks Park. That includes the free egg hunt, bunny pictures, children's activities, and vendors. If you haven't been, I highly recommend it. I know Director Tamani has been there with her kids, and I expect her kids to participate in the egg hunt event. So, and we have an adult, I think we still have the adult egg hunt out there. That is a ride to watch, and yeah, it's a ride. So plan on attending that if you're available. And then the Horticulture Center update on the pathway that we discussed here. The site is prepped currently and ready to go pending funding and final UC permitting and approval. That's the university's permitting and approval. The Master Gardeners is going to request our participation financially of 20%. That's going to be approximately $3,200. We did identify the possibility of saving some money on a capital project that we could then apply to this because it is a capital project. So we will be coming back to you with that request for the $3,200, just so you're aware of that. And it will come from funds that have already been budgeted, but saved in another project. And that would be at the April board meeting. So that is the recreational update. And my quick update is I have submitted the application to Congressman Barra for House appropriation funds for the renovation of our preschool, $2 million request. We are matching it with just over 270,000, I believe. So that gives us a little skin in the game, helps our application. So if we receive those funds, we will be in it for about 270. We'll know in June on that. I just got a request for additional information, so they are reviewing those currently. And I'll be working on that Thursday and Friday to try and get that additional information in to their office as quickly as possible.
So is that a raise and reconstruct?
No, it's not a raise. It is the parking lot, the main entrance, the bathrooms, and the interior doorways, the HVAC, the flooring,
Okay.
and those things. And you
There's a roof leak?
no, the roof's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a tight dollar amount.
Yeah.
For these pieces. We can kind of phase it in and not do all of it if we find that the true costs come in higher. These are estimated costs at this point for that work. So
Will that change the capacity at all?
no.
And we probably still have a waiting list to get in there, or
I
more
cannot
demand?
answer that. I do not know where they are in that. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've been working on, and just fun stuff.
Great. Any questions from the board? Awesome. Well then I will make a motion to adjourn the regular meeting of April 15th at 6 p.m.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
I was just gonna